Chaos Theatre Collective's reading of Uncle Vanya by Chekhov. I am Bryony Sparrow. I'm facilitating this read because I adore Russian literature. And later on this week, as part of our Russian play project, Jonathan will be facilitating The Seagull. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one as well. I am not very good at making these introductions. I hope you enjoy the show. I'm going to stop soon because I keep saying yeah, enjoy everybody, everyone involved, everyone watching. We're just exploring and having some fun.
Uncle Vanya, Scenes from a Country Life in 4 Acts by Anton Chekhov. Act 1. A country house on a terrace in front of a garden. It's avenues and trees. Avenues under an old.
Should we just quickly start again?
Yeah.
Sorry. So yeah, the opening directions on each scene are Jackie's.
Got it.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Get ready for some Uncle Vanya starting soon.
Uncle Vanya, Scenes from Country Life in 4 Acts by Anton Chekhov. Act 1. A country house on a terrace. In front of it, a garden. In an avenue of trees under an old poplar stands a table set for tea with a samovar. Some benches and chairs stand near the table. On one of them is lying a guitar. A hammock is swung near the table. It is 3 o'clock in the afternoon of a cloudy day. Marina, a quiet, gray-haired little old woman, is sitting at the table, knitting a stocking. Astrov is walking up and down near her. Take a little tea, my son.
Somehow I don't seem to want any.
Then will you have a little vodka instead?
No, I don't drink vodka every day. Besides, it's too hot now. Tell me, nurse, how long have we known each other?
Let me see. How long is it? Lord, help me to remember. You first came here into our parts. Let me think. When was it? Sonia's mother was still alive. It was 2 winters before she died. That was 11 years ago. Perhaps more.
Have I changed much since then?
Oh, yes. You were handsome and young then. And now you are an old man and not handsome anymore. Oh, you drink too.
Yes, 10 years have made me another man. And why? Because I am overworked. Nurse, I am on my feet from dawn till dusk. I know no rest. At night, I tremble under my blankets for fear of being dragged out to visit someone who is sick. I have toiled without repose or a day's freedom since I have known you. Could I help growing old? And then, existence is tedious anyway. It is a senseless, dirty business, this life. It goes heavily. Everyone about here is silly. And after living with them for 2 or 3 years, one grows silly oneself. It is inevitable. See what a long mustache I have grown? A foolish long mustache. Thank God my brain is not tattled yet, though my feelings have grown numb. I ask nothing. I need nothing. I love no one, unless it is yourself alone. I had a nurse just like you when I was a child.
Don't you want a bite of something to eat?
No. During the third week of Lent, I went to the epidemic at Malikskoy. Malitskoy. It was eruptive typhoid. The peasants were all lying side by side in their huts, and the calves and pigs were running about the floor among the sick. Such dirt there was, and smoke unspeakable. I slaved among those people all day, not a crumb passed my lips. But when I got home, there was still no rest for me. A switchman was carried in from the railroad. I laid him on the operating table, and he went and died in my arms under chloroform. And then my feelings that should have been deadened woke again. My conscience tortured me as if I had killed the man. I sat down and closed my eyes like this and thought, will our descendants 200 years from now, for whom we are breaking the road, remember to give us a kind word? No, nurse. They will forget.
Man is forgetful, but God remembers.
Thank you for that. You have spoken the truth.
Yes. Yes.
Have you been asleep?
Yes, very much so. Ever since the professor and his wife have come, our daily life seems to have jumped the track. I sleep at the wrong time, I drink wine, and I eat all sorts of messes for lunch and dinner. It isn't wholesome. Sonia and I used to work together and never had an idle moment, but now Sonia works alone, and I only eat and drink and sleep. Something is wrong.
Such a confusion in the house. The professor gets up at 12. The samovar is kept boiling all the morning, and everything has to wait for him. Before they came, we used to have dinner at 1 o'clock, like everybody else. But now we have it at 7. The professor sits up all night writing and reading, and suddenly, at 2 o'clock, there goes the bell. Heavens, what is that? The professor wants some tea. Wake the servant. Light the samovar. Lord, what disorder.
Will they be here long?
100 years? The professor has decided to make his home here.
Look at this now. The samovar has been on the table for 2 hours, and they're all out walking.
All right, don't get excited. Here they come.
Voices are heard. Sir Brykov, Yelena, Sonia, and Telegrin come in from the depths of the garden, returning from their walk.
There, Bryakov.
Speak up, man.
We can't hear you.
Superb, superb. What beautiful, beautiful views.
They are wonderful, Your Excellency.
Tomorrow we shall go into the woods, shall we, Papa?
Ladies and gentlemen, tea is ready.
Would you please be good enough to send my tea into the library, as I have some work to do?
I'm sure you will love the woods.
There goes our learned scholar on a hot, sultry day like this, in his overcoat and galoshes, carrying an umbrella.
He's trying to take good care of his health.
Oh, how lovely she is. How lovely. I have never in my life seen a more beautiful woman.
Do you know, Marina, that as I walk in the fields or in the shady garden, as I look at this table here, my heart swells with unbounded happiness. The weather's enchanting. The birds are singing. We are all living in peace and contentment. What more could the soul desire?
Such eyes. Oh, a glorious woman.
Ivan, tell us something.
Now, what shall I tell you?
Haven't you any news for us?
No, it is all stale. I am just the same as usual, or perhaps worse, because I have become lazy. I don't do anything now but croak like an old raven. My mother, the old magpie, is still chattering about the emancipation of women with one eye on the grave and another on all her learned books, in which she is always looking for the dawn of a new life.
And the professor?
The professor sits in his library from morning till night, as usual. Straining the mind, wrinkling the brow, we write, 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 without respite or hope of praise of the future or now. Oh, poor paper! He ought to write his autobiography. He would make a really splendid subject for a book. Oh, imagine it. The life of a retired professor, as stale as a piece of hardtack, tortured by gout, headaches, and rheumatism, his liver bursting with jealousy and envy, living on the estate of his first wife, although he hates it, because he can't afford to live in town. He is everlastingly whining about his hard lot, though, as a matter of fact, he is extraordinarily lucky. He is the son of a common deacon, and he has attained the professor's chair because the son-in-law of a senator, he has become the son-in-law of a senator, is called Your Excellency and so on. But I'll tell you something. The man has been writing on art for 25 years, and he doesn't know the first thing about it. For 25 years, he has been chewing on other men's thoughts about realism, naturalism, and all such foolishness. For 25 years, he has been writing and reading things that clever men have long known and stupid ones are not interested in. For 25 years, he has been making his imaginary mountains out of molehills. And just think of the man's self-conceit and presumption all this time. For 25 years, he has just been masquerading in false clothes and has now retired absolutely unknown to any living soul. And yet, see him stalking across the earth like a demigod.
I believe you envy him.
Yes, I do. Look at the success he has had with women. Don John himself was not more favored. His first wife, who was my sister, was a beautiful, gentle being, as pure as the blue heaven 3 times above us. He's noble, good-hearted, with more admirers than he has pupils, and she loved him, as only beings of angelic purity can love those who are as pure and beautiful as themselves. His mother-in-law, my mother, adores him to this day, and he still inspires a sort of worshipful awe in her. His second wife is, as you see, it's just a brilliant beauty. She married him in his old age, and she has surrendered all the glory of her beauty and freedom to him. Why? What for?
Is she faithful to him?
Yes, unfortunately, she is.
Why unfortunately?
Because such fidelity is false and unnatural, root and branch. It sounds well, but there is no logic in it. It is thought immoral for a woman to deceive an old husband who she hates, but quite moral to strangle her poor youth in her breast and banish every vital desire from her heart.
Vanya, I don't like to hear you talk so. Listen, Vanya, everyone who betrays husband or wife is faithless and could also betray his country.
Turn off the tap, Waffles.
No, allow me, Vanya. My wife ran away with a lover on the day after our wedding because my exterior was unproposing. I have never failed in my duty since then. I love her and am true to her to this day. I help her all I can and have given my fortune to educate the daughter of herself and her lover. I have forfeited my happiness, but I have kept my pride. And she? Her youth is fled, her beauty is faded according to the laws of nature, and her lover is dead. What has she kept?
There are some peasants waiting out there. Go and see what they want. I shall pour the tea.
I have come to see your husband. You wrote to me that he had rheumatism, and I know not what else, and that he was very ill. But he appears to be as lively as a cricket.
He had a fit of the blues yesterday evening and complained of pains in his legs, but he seems to be all right again today.
And I galloped over here 20 miles at breakneck speed. No matter, though, it is not the first time. Once here, however, I am going to stay until tomorrow. At any rate, sleep. Quantum satis.
Oh, splendid. You so seldom spend the night with us. Have you had dinner yet?
No?
Good. So you'll have it with us. We dine at 7 now. This tea is cold.
Yes, the samovar has grown cold. Ugh.
Don't mind, Mr. Ivan. We will drink cold tea then.
I beg your pardon, my name is not Ivan. It's Ilya, ma'am. Ilya Telegan. Or Waffles, as I am sometimes called on account of my pockmarked face. I am Sonia's godfather, and His Excellency, your husband, knows me very well. I now live with you, ma'am, on this estate, and perhaps you will be so good as to notice that I dine with you every day.
He is our great help. Our right-hand man. Dear godfather, let me pour you some tea.
Oh!
What is it, grandmother?
I forgot to tell Alexander. I have lost my memory. I've received a letter today from Paul Alexeyevich in Kharkov. He has sent me a new pamphlet.
Is it interesting?
Yes, but strange. He refutes the very theories which he defended 7 years ago. It is appalling.
There is nothing appalling about it. Drink your tea, Mama.
Well, it seems you never want to listen to what I have to say. Pardon me, Jean, but you have changed so in the last year that I hardly know you. You used to be a man of settled convictions, and I had an illuminating personality.
Oh, yes. I had an illuminating personality, which illuminated no one. I had an illuminating personality. You couldn't say anything more biting. I am 47 years old. Until last year I endeavored, as you do now, to blind my eyes by your pedantry to the truths of life. But now, if you only knew. Oh, if you knew how I lie awake at night, heartsick and angry to think how stupidly I have wasted my time when I might have been winning from life everything which my old age now forbids.
Uncle Vanya, how dreary.
You speak as if your former convictions were somehow to blame. But you yourself, not they, were at fault. You have forgotten that a conviction in itself is nothing but a dead letter. You should have done something.
Done something? Not every man is capable of being a writer perpetuum mobile like your Herr Professor.
What do you mean by that?
Mother, Uncle Vanya, I entreat you.
I am silent. I apologize, and I am silent.
What a fine day. Not too hot.
Fine day to hang oneself.
Telegen tunes the guitar. Marina appears near the house, calling the chickens. Chick, chick, chick!
What did the peasants want, nurse?
The same old thing, the same old nonsense. Chick, chick, chick!
Why are you calling the chickens?
The speckled hen has disappeared with her chicks. I'm afraid the crows have got her.
Kellegrin plays a polka They all listen in silence. Is the doctor here? Excuse me, sir. But I've been sent to fetch you.
Where are you from?
The factory.
Thank you. There's nothing for it then, but to go. Damn, this is annoying.
Yes, it is too bad, really. You must come back to dinner from the factory.
No, I won't be able to do that. It'll be too late now. Where? Look here, my man. Get me a glass of vodka, will you? Where? One of the characters in Ostrov's plays is a man with a long mustache and short wits. Like me. However, let me bid you goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. I should be really delighted if you would come to see me someday with Miss Sonia. My estate is small, but if you are interested in such things, I should like to show you a nursery and seed bed, whose like you will not find within 1,000 miles of here. My place is surrounded by government forests. The forester is old and always ailing, so I superintend almost all the work myself.
I have always heard that you were very fond of the woods. Of course, one can do a great deal of good by helping to preserve them, but does not that work interfere with your real calling?
God alone knows what a man's real calling is.
And do you find it interesting?
Yes, very.
Oh, extremely.
You are still young, not over 36 or 7, I should say, and I suspect that the woods do not interest you as much as you say they do. I should think you would find them monotonous.
No, the work is thrilling. Dr. Astrov watches over the old woods and sets out new plantations every year, and he's already received a diploma and a bronze medal. If you will listen to what he can tell you, you will agree with him entirely. He says that forests are the ornaments of the earth, that they teach mankind to understand beauty and attune his mind to lofty sentiments. Forests temper a stern climate, and in countries where the climate is milder, less strength is wasted in the battle with nature, and the people are kind and gentle. The inhabitants of such countries are handsome, tractable, sensitive, graceful in speech and gesture. Their philosophy is joyous, art and science blossoming among them. Their treatment of women is fully exquisite nobility.
Oh, bravo, bravo! Oh, that is very pretty. Oh, but it is also unconvincing. So, my friend, you must let me go on burning firewood in my stoves and building my sheds of planks.
You can burn peat in your stoves and build your sheds of stone. Oh, I don't object, of course, to cutting wood from necessity, but why destroy the forests? The woods of Russia are trembling under the blows of the axe. Millions of trees have perished. The homes of the wild animals and birds have been desolated. The rivers are shrinking, and many beautiful landscapes are gone forever. And why? Because men are too lazy and stupid to stoop down and pick up their fuel from the ground. Am I not right, madam? Who but a stupid barbarian could burn so much beauty in his stove and destroy that which he cannot make? Man is endowed with reason and the power to create, so that he may increase that which has been given him. But until now, he has not created, but demolished. The forests are disappearing. The rivers are running dry. The game is exterminated. The climate is spoiled, and the earth becomes poor. And uglier every day. I read irony in your eye. You do not take what I am saying seriously. And after all, it may very well be nonsense. When I pass peasant forests that I have preserved from the axe, or hear the rustling of the young plantation set out with my own hands, I feel as if I had some small share in improving the climate, and that if mankind is happy 1,000 years from now, I will have been a little bit responsible for their happiness. When I plant a little birch tree and then see it budding into young green and swaying in the wind, my heart swells with pride. And however, I must be off. Probably it's all nonsense. Anyway, goodbye.
He goes toward the house. Sonia takes his arm and goes with him.
When are you coming to see us again?
I can't say. I can't.
In a month?
You have behaved shockingly again, Yvonne. What sense was there in teasing your mother and talking about perpetuum mobile? And at breakfast, you quarreled with Alexander again. Really, your behavior is too petty.
But if I hate him?
You hate Alexander without reason. He's like everyone else, and no worse than you are.
Oh, if you could only see your face, your gestures. Oh, how tedious your life must be.
It is tedious, yes, and dreary. You all abuse my husband and look on me with compassion. You think, poor woman, she is married to an old man. How well I understand your compassion. As Astrov said just now, see how you thoughtlessly destroy the forest so that there will soon be none left. So you also destroy mankind, and soon fidelity and purity and self-sacrifice will have vanished into the woods. With the woods. Why cannot you look calmly at a woman unless she is yours? Because the doctor was right. You are all possessed by a devil of destruction. You have no mercy on the woods or the birds or on women or on one another.
I don't like your philosophy.
That doctor has a sensitive, weary face, an interesting face. Sonia evidently likes him, and she's in love with him, and I can understand it. This is the third time he has been here since I have come, and I have not had a real talk with him yet or made much of him. He thinks I am disagreeable.
Oh.
Do you know, Yvonne, the reason you and I are friends? I think it is because we are both lonely and unfortunate. Yes, unfortunate. Don't look at me in that way. I don't like it.
How else can I look at you otherwise if when I love you? You are my joy, my life, and my youth. I know that my chances of being loved in return are infinitely small, do not exist, but I ask nothing of you. Only let me look at you. Listen to your voice.
Hush. Someone will overhear you.
Let me speak to you of my love. No, do not drive me away. Let this alone will be my greatest happiness.
Ah, this is agony.
Telegrin strikes the strings of his guitar and plays a polka. Madame Borsnetsky writes something on the leaves of her pamphlet. The curtain falls.
Act 2. The dining room of Serebriako's house. It is night. The tapping of the watchman's rattle is heard in the garden. Serebriakov is dozing in an armchair by an open window, and Yelena is sitting beside him, also half asleep.
Who is here? Is it you, Sonia?
It is I.
Oh, is it you, Nellie? The pain is intolerable.
Your shawl has slipped down. Let me shut the window.
No, leave it. I am suffocating. I dreamt just now that my left leg belonged to someone else, and it hurt. It's so hurt that I woke. I don't believe this gout and is more like a rheumatism. And what time is it?
12:30.
I want you to look for Babushka's works in the library tomorrow, and I think we'll have him.
What is that?
Look for Babushka's work tomorrow. We used to have him. I remember. Why do I find it so hard to breathe?
You are tired. This is the second night you have had no sleep.
They say that Chernikov got angrier from the heart from gout, and I'm afraid that I am getting angrier too. Oh, this damn horrible cursed old age. And if ever I have been old, I have myself to hate. But I am sure hateful to you as well.
You speak as if we were to blame for your being old.
I'm more hateful to you than anyone. You are quite right, of course. I'm not an idiot. I can understand you. And you are young, healthy, and beautiful, and longing for life. And I am old and old dotted, and most of all, a dead man already. Don't I know it? Of course. I can see that is foolish for me to live so long, but I shall set you free, set you all free, and my life cannot drag on this much longer.
You are overtaxing my powers of endurance. Be quiet, for God's sake.
That appears. It appears that, thanks to me, everybody's power of endurance is being overtaxed, and everybody is miserable. And I am the only blissful, triumphant. Oh yes, of course.
Be quiet. You are torturing me.
I torture everybody. Of course.
This is unbearable. Tell me, what is it you want me to do?
Nothing.
Then be quiet, please.
It is funny that everybody listens to Ivan and this old idiot of a mother. And also, you can't even stand the sound of my voice. And I am even hateful. I am a selfish tyrant. I haven't had the right to be one of my age. And I ask you the right to be respected, and now I am old.
No one is disputing your rights. The wind is rising. I must shut the window. We shall have rain in a moment. Your rights have never been questioned by anybody.
I've spent my life working in the interests of learning. I am used to my library and the lecture hall and the esteem of admiration of my colleagues. And now I find myself suddenly plunged into this wilderness and condemned to see the same stupid people from morning till night until after the futile conversation. I want to live, for I long for success and fame and stir the world, and here am I in exile. And oh, it is dreadful to spend every moment grieving for the lost past and to see the success of others and to sit here with nothing to do but fear death. I cannot stand it. The more that I can bear, and you will not even forgive me for being old.
Wait, have patience. I shall be old myself in 4 5 years.
Father, you sent for Dr. Astrov, and now when he comes you refuse to see him. It is not nice to give a man so much trouble for nothing.
What do I care about your Astrov? He understands medicine about as well as I understand astronomy.
We can't send for the whole medical faculty, can we, to treat your gout?
I won't talk to that madman.
Do as you please. It's all the same to me.
What time is it?
1 o'clock.
It is sitting in here, Sonia. Hand me that bottle on the table.
Here it is.
No, not that one. Can you understand me? I asked to do a thing.
Please don't be capricious with me. Some people may like it, but you must spare me, if you please, because I don't. Besides, I haven't the time. We're cutting the hay tomorrow and I must get up early.
A thunderstorm is coming up. There it is. Go to bed, Yelena and Sonia. I have come to take your place.
No. Don't leave me alone with him. Oh, don't. He will begin to lecture me.
But you must give them a little rest. They have not slept for 2 nights.
Then let them go to bed. But away you go to. Thank you. I implore you to go. For the sake of our former friendship, I do not protest anything going. And we will talk some other time.
Our former friendship. Our former.
Hush, Uncle Vanya.
My darling, don't leave me alone with him. He will begin to lecture me.
This is ridiculous.
You must go to bed, nurse. It is late.
I haven't cleared away the tea things. Can't go to bed yet.
No one can go to bed. They're all worn out, and I am the only one who perfectly enjoys happiness.
What's the matter, master? Does it hurt? My own legs are aching too. Oh, so badly. You have had this illness such a long time. Sonia's dead mother used to stay awake with you too and wear herself out for you. She loved you dearly. Old people want to be pitied as much as young ones, but nobody cares about them somehow. Come, master, let me give you some linden tea and warm your poor feet for you. I shall pray to God for you.
Let's go, Marina.
My own feet are aching so badly. Oh, so badly. Sonia's mother used to wear herself out with sorrow and weeping. You were still little and foolish then, Sonia. Come, master.
I am absolutely exhausted by him and can hardly stand.
You are exhausted by him, and I am exhausted by my own self. I have not slept for 3 nights.
Something is wrong in this house. Your mother hates everything but her pamphlets and the professor is vexed. He won't trust me and fears you. Sonia is angry with her father and with me and hasn't spoken to me for 2 weeks. I am at the end of my strength and have come near bursting into tears at least 20 times today. Something is wrong in this house.
So leave speculating alone.
You are cultured and intelligent, Yvonne, and you surely understand that the world is not destroyed by villains and conflagrations, but by hate and malice and all this spiteful tattling. It is your duty to make peace and not to growl at everything.
Help me first to make peace with myself. My darling.
Let go. Go away.
Soon all the rain will be over, and all nature will sigh and awake refreshed. Only I am not refreshed by the storm. Day and night the thought haunts me like a fiend that my life is lost forever. My past does not count, because I frittered it away on trifles, and the present has so terribly miscarried. Oh, what shall I do with my life and my love? What is to become of them? Oh, this wonderful feeling of mine will be wasted and lost as a ray of sunlight is lost that falls into a dark chasm, and my life away with it.
I am, as it were, benumbed when you speak to me of your love, and I don't know how to answer you. Forgive me. I have nothing to say to you. Good night.
If you only knew how tortured I am by the thought that beside me in this house there is another life that is being lost forever. It is yours. What are you waiting for? What accursed philosophy stands in your way? Oh, understand. Understand.
Yvonne, you are drunk.
Yeah, perhaps.
Where is the doctor?
In there, spending the night with me. Perhaps I am drunk, perhaps I am. Nothing is impossible.
Have you just been drinking together? Why do you do that?
Oh, because in that way I get a taste of life. Oh, let me do it, Yelena.
You never used to drink, and you never used to talk so much. Go to bed. I am tired of you.
Oh, my sweetheart, my beautiful one.
Leave me alone. Really, this has become too disagreeable.
No, she is gone. I first met her 10 years ago at her sister's house when she was 17 and I was 37. Why did I not fall in love with her then and propose to her? Oh, it would have been so easy. And now she would have been my wife. Oh, yes. We would both have been waked up tonight by the thunderstorm, and she would have been frightened, but I would have held her in my arms and whispered, "Don't be afraid. I am here." Oh, enchanting dream. So sweet that I laugh to think about it. Oh, but my God. Oh, my head reels. Oh, why am I so old? Oh, why won't she understand me? God, I hate that rhetoric of hers, that morality of indolence, that absurd talk about the destruction of the world. God. Oh, how I have been deceived. For years I have worshipped that miserable gout-ridden professor. Sonia and I have just squeezed this estate dry for his sake. We have bartered our butter and curds and peas like misers, and have never kept a morsel for ourselves, so that we could scrape enough pennies together to send to him. I was proud of him and his learning. I received all his words and writings as inspired, and now he is retired. And what is the total of his life? He's a blank. He is absolutely unknown, and his fame has just burst like a soap bubble. Oh, I have been deceived. I see that now. Basely deceived.
Give me waffles. Play.
Everyone's asleep.
Play.
Pellegrin begins to play softly.
Are you alone here? no women about. The school of fire is dead. Where shall the master lay his head? The thunderstorm woke me. It was a heavy shower. What time is it?
The devil only knows.
I thought I heard Yelena's voice.
She was here a minute ago.
What a beautiful woman. Medicine, is it? What a variety we have. Prescriptions from Moscow, from Kharkov, from Tula. Why, he has been pestering all the towns in Russia with his gout. Is he ill or simply shamming?
He is really ill.
What's the matter with you tonight? You seem sad. Is it because you feel sorry for the professor?
Oh, leave me alone.
Or in love with the professor's wife?
She is my friend.
Already?
What do you mean by already?
A woman can only become a man's friend after having first been his acquaintance and then his beloved. Then she becomes his friend.
What vulgar philosophy.
What do you mean? Yes, I must confess, I am getting vulgar, but then you see, I am drunk. I usually only drink like this once a month. In such times, my audacity and temerity know no bounds. I feel capable of anything. I attempt the most difficult operations and do them magnificently. The most brilliant plans for the future take shape in my head. I am no longer a poor fool of a doctor, but mankind's greatest benefactor. I evolve my own system of philosophy, and all of you seem to crawl at my feet like so many insects or microbes. Play waffles!
My dear boy, I would with all my heart, but do listen to reason. Everybody in the house is asleep.
Oh, play! I want a drink. I want a drink. God, we still have brandy left. And then, as soon as it is day, you will come home with me. I beg your pardon. I have no collar on.
Uncle Vanya, you and the doctor have been drinking. The good fellows have been getting together. It is all very well for him. He has always done it. But why do you follow his example? It looks dreadfully at your age.
Age has nothing to do with it. When real life is wanting, one must create an illusion. It's better than nothing.
Our hay is all cut and rotting in these daily rains, and here you are busy creating illusions.
Oh.
You have given up the farm altogether. I have done all the work alone until I am at the end of my strength. Uncle, your eyes are full of tears.
Tears? Nonsense. There are no tears in my eyes. You looked at me just then as your dead mother used to, my darling. Oh, my sister. My dear sister, where are you now? Oh, if only you knew, if only you knew.
If only she knew what, Uncle?
My heart is bursting. This is awful. No matter, though, I must go.
Dr. Astrov, are you awake? Please come here for a minute.
In a moment. What do you want?
Drink as much as you please yourself if you don't find it revolting, but I implore you not to let my uncle do it. It is bad for him.
Very well, then. We won't drink anymore. I'm going home at once. That is settled. It will be done by the time the horses are harnessed.
It is still raining. Wait till morning.
The storm is blowing over. This is the only edge of it. I must go. And please, don't ask me to come see your father anymore. I tell him he has gout, and he says it is rheumatism. I tell him to lie down, and he sits up. Today, he refused to see me at all.
He has been spoilt. Won't you have a bite to eat?
Yes, please. I believe I will.
I love to eat at night. I'm sure we shall find something in here. They say that he has made a great many conquests in his life, and that the women have spoiled him. Here is some cheese for you.
I haven't eaten anything today. Your father has a very difficult nature. May I? We are alone here, and I can speak frankly. You know, I could not stand living in this house for even a month. This atmosphere would stifle me. There's your father, entirely absorbed in his books, his gout. There's your Uncle Vanya with his hypochondria, your grandmother, and finally your stepmother.
What about her?
A human being should be entirely beautiful. The face, the clothes, the mind, the thoughts. Your stepmother is, of course, beautiful to look at, but don't you see? She does nothing but sleep and eat and walk and bewitch us, and that is all. She has no responsibilities. Everything is done for her. Am I not right? And an idle life can never be a pure one. However, I may be judging her too severely, like your Uncle Vanya. I am discontented, and so we are both grumblers.
Aren't you satisfied with life?
I like life as life, but I hate and despise it in a little Russian country village. And as far as my own personal life goes, by heaven, there's absolutely no redeeming feature about it. Haven't you noticed? If you are riding through a dark wood at night and see a little shining light ahead, how you forget your fatigue and the darkness and the sharp twigs that whip your face. I work, that you know, as no one else in the country works. Fate beats on me without rest. At times I suffer unendurably and I see no light ahead. I have no hope. I do not like people. It is long since I have loved anyone.
You love no one?
Not a soul. I only feel a sort of tenderness for your old nurse, for old time's sake. Peasants are all alike. They are stupid and live in dirt. And the educated people are hard to get along with. One gets tired of them. All our good friends are petty and shallow and see no farther than their own noses. In one word, they're dull. Those that have brains are hysterical, devoured with a mania for self-analysis. They whine, they hate, they pick faults everywhere with an unhealthy sharpness. They sneak up to me sideways, look at me out of the corner of an eye, and say, "That man is a lunatic. That man is a windbag." Or if they don't know what else to label me with, they say that I am strange. I like the woods. That is strange. I don't eat meat. That is strange too. Simple. Natural relations between man and man, or man and nature, do not exist.
I beg you, I implore you not to drink any more.
Why not?
It is so unworthy of you. You are well bred. Your voice is sweet. You are, even more than anyone I know, handsome. Why do you want to resemble the common people that drink and play cards? Oh, don't, I beg you. You always say that people do not create anything, but only destroy what heaven has given them. Why, oh, why do you destroy yourself? Oh, don't. I implore you not to. I entreat you.
I won't drink anymore.
Promise me.
I give you my word of honor.
Thank you.
I've done with it. You see, I'm perfectly sober again, and so I shall stay. I shall stay till the end of my life. But as I was saying, life holds nothing for me. My race is run. I am old. I am tired. I am trivial. My sensibilities are dead. I could never attach myself to anyone again. I love no one and never shall. Beauty alone has the power to touch me still. I am deeply moved by it. Yelena could turn my head in a day if she wanted to, but that is not love. That is not affection.
What is it?
That, nothing. During Lent, one of my patients died under chloroform.
It is time to forget that. Tell me, Doctor, if I had a friend or a younger sister, and if you knew that she, well, loved you, what would you do?
I don't know. I don't think I should do anything. I should make her understand that I could not return her love. However, my mind is not bothered about those things now. I must start at once if I am ever to get off. Bye, my dear girl. At this rate, we shall stand here talking till morning. I shall go out through the sitting room because I am afraid your uncle might detain me.
Not a word. His heart and soul are still locked from me, and yet for some reason I'm strangely happy. I wonder why. I told him that he was well-bred and handsome, and that his voice was sweet. Was that a mistake? I can still feel his voice vibrating in the air. It caresses me. Oh, how terrible it is to be plain. I am plain, I know it. As I came out of church last Sunday, I overheard a woman say, "She is a dear, noble girl, but what a pity she is so ugly." So ugly.
The storm is over. What delicious air. Where is the doctor?
He is gone.
Sonia?
Yes?
How much longer are you going to sulk at me? We have not hurt each other. Why not be friends? We have had enough of this.
I myself... Let us make peace.
With all my heart.
Has Papa gone to bed?
No, he is sitting up in the drawing room. Heaven knows what reason you and I had for not speaking to each other for weeks. Who left the sideboard open?
Dr. Astrov has just had supper.
There's some wine. Let us seal our friendship.
Yes, let us.
Out of one glass. So, we are friends, are we?
Yes. I have long wanted to make friends, but somehow I was ashamed to.
Why are you crying?
I don't know. It's nothing.
There. Don't cry. Now I'm crying too. You are angry with me because I seem to have married your father for his money, but don't believe the gossip you hear. I swear to you, I married him for love. I was fascinated by his fame and learning. I know now that it was not real love, but it seemed real at the time. I am innocent, and yet your clever, suspicious eyes have been punishing me for an imaginary crime ever since my marriage.
Peace. Peace. Let us forget the past.
You must not look so at people. It is not becoming to you. You must trust people, or life becomes impossible.
Tell me truly, as a friend, are you happy?
Truly, no.
I knew it. One more question. Do you wish your husband were young?
What a child you are. Of course I do. Go on, ask something else.
Do you like the doctor?
Yes, very much indeed.
I have a stupid face, haven't I? He has just gone out, and his voice is still in my ears. I hear his step. I see his face in the dark window. Let me say all I have in my heart. But no, I cannot speak of it so loudly. I am ashamed. Come to my room and let me tell you there. I seem foolish to you, don't I? Talk to me of him.
What can I say?
He is clever. He can do everything. He can cure the sick and plant woods.
It is not a question of medicine and woods, my dear. He is a man of genius. Do you know what that means? It means he is brave, profound, and of clear insight. He plants a tree and his mind travels 1,000 years into the future, and he sees visions of the happiness of the human race. People like him are rare and should be loved. What if he does drink and act roughly at times? A man of genius cannot be a saint in Russia. There he lives, cut off from the world by cold and storm and endless roads of bottomless mud, surrounded by a rough people who are crushed by poverty and disease. His life one continuous struggle, with never a day's respite. How can a man live like that for 40 years and keep himself sober and unspotted? I wish you happiness with all my heart. You deserve it. As for me, I am a worthless, futile woman. I have always been futile. In music, in love, in my husband's house, in a word, in everything. When you come to think of it, Sonia, I am really very, very unhappy. Happiness can never exist for me in this world. Never. Why do you laugh?
I'm so happy. So happy.
I want to hear music. I might play a little.
Oh, do. I could not possibly go to sleep now. Do play.
Yes, I will. Your father is still awake. Music irritates him when he is ill, but if he says I may, then I shall play a little. Go, Sonia, and ask him.
Very well.
It is long since I have heard music, and now I shall sit and play and weep like a fool. Is that you rattling out there, Efim?
It is I.
Don't make such a noise. Your master is ill.
I am going away this minute. He says no.
The curtain falls.
And we're going to take a 5-minute break here because we're halfway through. So thank you, audience and cast. 5 minutes. Back at 10 past.
Recording stopped.
Jackie, are you there?
Yes, I is.
You is? Good. Awesome. I'm just confused on who do you want to take the stage directions or should I? Because at this point it's like I'm getting confused on who the heck.
So I believe I have every opening scene description.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
so top of
Okay.
each act, I'm the one doing it. But whenever I don't hear anyone doing the other yellow descriptions, like I wait a minute and then I just read them.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Great.
It's
Okay.
working fairly well so far. Apologies for the confusion.
No. It's not your fault. It's just like of which is it in bracket or is it you know what I mean? It's the bracket. It's that's all. It's not you.
Oh no, it
fine.
is like yeah. I could have been clearer about it, but it's all good.
No,
We're
it's
managing. It's going pretty well.
totally fine. Totally fine. And I had to switch because like my as I was reading my lines for the angry person I'm playing, my computer was dying. So that's why I was like, I can't. It's gonna die in like 5 minutes. So it should be fine. It should be fine. But yeah, this is lovely. This is going well. This is all going really well.
I think we might have a Valerie in the house, as well as Angel. Hi, Angel. The audience.
Hey, I just want to
Yeah.
let you
Hey!
Information.
Hey,
I know
everybody.
we're still streaming, but we're not
Oh, okay.
saying anything particularly naughty.
Hey
So,
Val!
like,
Well,
Hey,
I just wanted to
everybody.
Angel.
how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm like, I'm dying.
No!
I'm dead. No, I'm actually fine. I bit the bullet and I called out of work tomorrow, which never happens.
Good.
But the doctor was like, "Yeah, you have a terrible sinus infection." So
Yikes.
I've had so
Hi everybody, I'm still Bryony. I still ramble a lot, so I'll just say welcome to the second half of Uncle Vanya. Enjoy.
Act 3. The drawing room of Serebiakio's house. There are 3 doors, one to the right, one to the left, and one in the center of the room. Vanya and Sonia are sitting down. Yelena is walking up and down, absorbed in thought.
We were asked by the professor to be here at 1 o'clock. It is now 1:15. It seems he has some communication to make with the world.
Probably a matter of business.
Oh, he never had any business. He writes twaddle, grumbles, and eats his heart out with jealousy. That's all he does.
Uncle!
All right. I beg your pardon. Look at her, wandering up and down from sheer idleness. Yeah, sweet picture, really.
I wonder you are not bored, droning on in the same key from morning till night. I am dying of this tedium. What shall I do?
There's plenty to do if you would.
For instance?
You could help run this place, teach the children, care for the sick. Isn't that enough? Before you and Papa came, Uncle Vanya and I used to go to market ourselves to deal in flour.
I don't know anything about such things, and besides, they don't interest me. It is only in novels that women go out and teach and heal the peasants. How can I suddenly begin to do it?
How can you live here and not do it? Wait a while. You'll get used to it all. Don't be sad, dearest. You feel miserable and restless and can't seem to fit into this life, and your restlessness is catching. Look at Uncle Vanya. He does nothing now but haunt you like a shadow, and I have left my work today to come here and talk with you. I'm getting lazy and don't want to go on with it. Dr. Astrov hardly ever used to come here. It was all we could do to persuade him to visit us once a month, and now he has abandoned his forestry and his practice and comes every day. You must be a witch.
Why should you languish here? Come, my dearest, my beauty, be sensible. The blood of a nixie runs in your veins. Oh, won't you let yourself be one? Give your nature the reins for once in your life. Fall head over heels in love with some other water sprite and plunge down headfirst into a deep pool so that our professor and all of us may have our hands free again.
Leave me alone. How cruel you are.
Oh, there, my beauty. I apologize. No, forgive me.
Confess that you would try the patience of an angel.
As a peace offering, I am going to fetch some flowers which I picked for you this morning. Some autumn roses. Beautiful, sorrowful roses.
Autumn roses. Beautiful, sorrowful roses.
September already. How shall we live through the long winter here? Where is the doctor?
He's writing in Uncle Vanya's room. I'm glad Uncle Vanya's gone out. I want to talk to you about something.
About what?
About what?
There, that will do. Don't, Sonia.
I am ugly.
You have lovely hair.
Don't say that. No. When a woman is ugly, they always say she has beautiful hair or eyes. I have loved him now for 6 years. I have loved him more than one loves one's mother. I seem to hear him beside me every moment of the day. I feel the pressure of his hand on mine. If I look up, I seem to see him coming, and as you see, I run to you to talk of him. He is here every day now. He never looks at me. He does not notice my presence. It is agony. I have absolutely no hope. No hope. Oh my God. Give me strength to endure. I prayed all last night. I often go up to him and speak to him and look into his eyes. My pride is gone. I am not mistress of myself. Yesterday, I told Uncle Vanya I couldn't control myself, and all the servants know it. Everyone knows that I love him.
Does he?
No, he never notices me.
He is a strange man. Listen, Sonia, will you allow me to speak to him? I shall be careful, only hint. Really, to be in uncertainty all these years, let me do it. Splendid. It will be easy to find out whether he loves you or not. Don't be ashamed, sweetheart. Don't worry. I shall be careful. He will not notice a thing. We only want to find out whether it is yes or no, don't we? And if it is no, then he must keep away from here. Is that so? It will be easier not to see him anymore. We won't put off the examination an instant. He said he had a sketch to show me. Go and tell him at once that I want to see him.
Will you tell me the whole truth?
Of course I will. I am sure that no matter what it is, it will be easier for you to bear than this uncertainty. Trust to me, dearest.
Yes. I shall say that you want to see his sketch. No. Is it better not to know? And yet there may be hope.
What do you say?
Nothing.
There is no greater sorrow than to know another's secret when you cannot help them. He is obviously not in love with her, but why shouldn't he marry her? She's not pretty, but she is so clever and pure and good. She would make a splendid wife for a country doctor of his years. I can understand how the poor child feels. She lives here in this desperate loneliness with no one around her except these colorless shadows that go mooning and talking nonsense and knowing nothing except that they eat, drink, and sleep. Among them appears from time to time this Dr. Astrov, so different, so handsome, so interesting, so charming. It is like seeing the moon rise on a dark night. Oh, to surrender oneself to his embrace, to lose oneself in his arms. I am a little in love with him myself. Yes, I am lonely without him, and when I think of him, I smile. That Uncle Vanya says I have the blood of a Nixie in my